All right, Austin, we're going. Welcome to the podcast, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. You got to lower the mic just a little bit. Make sure it's on. There you go.
There you go.
How's life? How's Halifax treating you?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, treating me good. Feeling good.
You're in vacation mode right now.
Yeah, I am, man. All fun until I have to go home.
When do you leave?
I believe the 9th I leave.
The 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're here for a bit. It's only the 1st. You have like 8 more days left.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So what's new, man? I heard you like wrestling a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What do you like about wrestling? What about the sport what do you admire about it?
Just the storylines and, the moves that they practice day in and day out to perfect what they're trying to display on TV.
So do you like behind the scenes stuff of it? Because it seems that if you like the way it's displayed on TV, there's a lot of work that's put into it.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of work put into it. No, basically the wrestlers have to make the audience believe.
Okay.
Everything, just a little scoop here. It's all staged,
Yeah.
obviously. But injuries do happen. Real life injuries do happen. So, for example, Tommaso Ciampa held the NXT title for 237 days, not the record. Record held by Finn Balor, 292. Suffered a neck injury. I don't know when, but he had to vacate the title and have surgery.
Ugh.
Which is going to keep him out for, I believe, a long time, basically. It's going to keep him out for a while. Which is brutal.
What's the worst injury you've ever seen in wrestling?
Worst injury I've ever seen.
You gotta lower the mic so I can see you a bit. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
The worst injury I've ever seen was... I think.
There must be a lot of them if you have to think of them.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen a... No, basically the injury can happen, but no one can notice it
Okay.
until news and media come out with that story.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the worst one I've seen has to go to Pac, or he was known as Neville in WWE.
Okay.
Suffered, I believe it was an ankle injury in a match with Chris Jericho a few years back. When he returned, he did a few matches as a babyface. Then December 2016, Roadblock End of the Line.
Okay.
This was after Rich Swann retained his title, retained the Cruiserweight title. Neville came out and beat him, thus turning heel and joining the Cruiserweight division.
How long have you been watching wrestling for?
Since 2015.
So that's 4 years.
Technically, yeah.
So before these 4 years, what did you have an interest in?
Cryptozoology.
What does that mean?
Which is basically the study of cryptids, and cryptids are creatures that science has yet to prove actually exist.
So like animals that don't exist, but people are trying to prove that they exist, like
like Nessie.
like Bigfoot,
like Bigfoot, like Nessie, the Loch Ness monster.
Do you still have an interest in this?
Somewhat, yeah.
Is Bigfoot real?
I do believe he is, because of all the sightings and everything that's come out about this.
Okay.
About this one creature for centuries. I do believe that there is something out there that science cannot explain.
What research have you done in order to prove that Bigfoot is real?
Well, last time I was here, me, Sebastian, and Brooks' father Blaine did go out hunting for Bigfoot, investigation.
Okay.
We found what we believe to be a nest, which was a giant stature, which was either man-made or something else created this thing to hold their eggs.
So you think that the nest was meant for Bigfoot?
I do believe it, yes.
So you think Bigfoot could be right here in Nova Scotia?
I do believe that there is a possibility.
Wow.
I'm not a scientist myself, but I do believe that there is something out there that obviously does not want us to find it. But obviously, research and investigations and all that will continue to come out to will prove that these creatures do exist.
Do you think Bigfoot is just one creature, or do you think there's many of Bigfoot's creature?
Well, there are many types. There's the Yeti,
The Yeti?
the abominable snowman,
Okay.
which resides in the Himalayas, which obviously are snowy mountains. Then there's actually a really funny movie I saw a while ago. It's called Little Bigfoot 2: The Journey Home. It's a really good movie. It was like made in the 90s.
Okay.
Really good movie. I love the acting. I love the little creature itself. So I do believe that there could be cubs, like these little Bigfoot,
Wow.
running around.
Do you do any research on space, the abyss out there in the universe, and aliens and things like that?
I do believe in aliens, yes.
Wow. I do too.
I do believe that there is something out there that we have not proven exists, or maybe the government does not want us to believe that it exists.
I have the exact same thought process on that as well. I think that there is something out there. Do I think that the government is holding something back against us? I don't know. Maybe so.
Well,
But I do believe that the universe is just so big, it would be
Well-
impossible for there not to be anything out there that's alive.
Let's think about it. Area 51, there is something there.
You think?
I do believe that there's a base there, but the government does not want us to see it.
Well, that's a fact. They don't want us to go there, but that could mean many things. That could mean maybe they're torturing people. That could mean maybe, there is aliens, but that could also mean, there's things there that, maybe the cure for cancer is there. Maybe the cure for AIDS is there. Anything. There could be a bunch of things there. Who knows?
Well, I do believe that Area 51 does hold aliens. That's my personal opinion on the whole matter.
Yeah.
But again, I was thinking about the gray aliens. Obviously, that big internet thing that went around a few years ago with these gray aliens and all these sightings of UFOs, strange lights in the sky, and many TV shows and movies made about it. Like I said, I do believe that there's something out there, but we just have yet to find it. Like Mars, for example. Martians. The rover sent up there to bring photos back.
Has the rover been to Mars? It has been there.
Yes,
But didn't they in the past couple years ship something there, like a camera, or they shipped a package to Mars maybe?
I do believe that they did. I don't know personally, but I do believe that they did send something up there.
So where did your interest in all of this, come to life? How old were you when you started having an interest in outer world things?
When I was young,
Yeah.
basically kids, they love, believing in stuff.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
Like, let's see, like Kraken, Cyclops. Could there be dinosaurs still living among us?
Well, aren't alligators still dinosaurs technically?
Technically, I believe. Of course, birds as well.
Birds were around.
Yeah, birds were around during the extinction period.
Mm.
When all the dinosaurs were wiped out, birds were technically there.
Mm.
But the question is, can someone bring it back to life? Bring a dino back to life?
That's a great question.
I mean, you've seen the movies like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World,
Great
and this
movies.
whole internet thing I saw, Prehistoric Park, a really good YouTube show that they did a while ago. I do believe that maybe we could bring these things back to life and interact in them and co-live with these creatures.
What do you think the benefit of that would be?
Having a pet dinosaur.
I like that answer. Just having a pet dinosaur. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Definitely the T-Rex.
But aren't T-Rexes known to kill people? Well, I guess not people, but they're the most aggressive of the dinosaur.
Well, I believe so. But it's not the biggest. Obviously, the biggest proven to be the Spinosaurus with the giant, spine on its back. That being the biggest.
I like what's it called? Longosaurus Rex with the long neck.
Bronchosaurus.
Bronchosaurus.
That's what I call it.
Is that what they're called? What did you say? Brontosaurs?
I forget what they're called.
I think
now.
you're right. Brontosaurs.
Bronchosaurus.
Bronchosauruses? Anyways, I like giraffes too. I just like the long neck for some reason.
Velociraptors. Let's talk about them for a minute. Because of how fast these things can go. Like, imagine, like, you're out, your little Velociraptor's just chilling, just laying down, having a little nap. Robber tries to break in. You got two options, pal. It's either get caught by the police or get mauled to death by a Velociraptor. Either way, you're screwed.
Either way.
Either way, you're in trouble. Hey, I would be like, this just looks back.
I'd leave.
Police at the door. Velociraptor staring at you. What do?
You probably run. They'll try to, or he'll probably capture you.
Police be like, well, our job's taken care of.
That's funny.
Yeah, man.
So I've never been to Newfoundland. You live there. What's it like in Newfoundland?
Well, there's a lot of places to go to, like Clarenville, Gander, St. John's. I live in a small community called St. Jack's out in Fortune Bay.
Say it again. St. Jack's?
St. Jack's.
Jack's.
It's a really nice place. But one of the best stores recently closed down.
Why?
The woman that was running it just couldn't afford to keep
The
paying
upkeep?
people.
Okay.
So they shut it down.
Okay.
That's going to be a missed shop because that was a good place to go.
What was your favorite thing to get there at the shop?
Definitely water.
As you're drinking water? What's so good about the water there at the shop?
You can get the flavored water, the Fruit 2O,
Oh, okay.
which is really good.
Yeah.
There's the cherry lime, lemon lime, and blueberry lime, which is really good.
What's your favorite flavor, though?
All three,
Mixed into one or just individually?
individually.
Okay. Depends on the day of the week.
But, we were talking about wrestling earlier.
Yes, wrestling.
One of my favorite wrestlers, I did mention this to you before, is Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the Universal Champion, he's the Beast Slayer.
I got to look this guy up, so keep talking. I'm just going to bring him up on the computer.
Yeah, no problem. Seth Rollins, he is just a true one-of-a-kind athlete.
Why is that?
He's about 6'1", 217.
Yeah.
No, not a big guy, but
That guy right there?
that is him. That is Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Obviously, bring up that one picture.
Which one?
The one where he's holding the title.
This one?
That is the Universal Championship.
Okay.
And obviously now we're bringing up a news article, which means he did make a surprise NXT appearance.
Mm-hmm.
He did start off in FCW, which when NXT was known at the time. But when it evolved in NXT, he became the first NXT champion,
Wow.
which is a very prestigious title. Obviously, a lot of people in NXT want to get their hands on that title.
So why does Seth have it?
Well, obviously, right now he has the Universal title, which is the main title for Monday Night Raw.
So this guy runs the show right now. He's the big dog. He's the
yeah.
big dog on campus.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone knows the big dog is Roman Reigns. Obviously, it comes from the Anoa'i family, which obviously includes the likes of the Usos, Rikishi, The Rock.
From Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, The Rock is Roman Reigns' cousin. Obviously,
Okay.
you can tell because they
The
both
tattoos.
have the Samoan tattoo. But of course, The Rock has the Rock Bottom, which is a very iconic finisher. But Roman Reigns has the Spear, which means he can run at you, and basically what a wrestler does to correctly do the Spear is they lean down and hit you in the midsection, and the opponent has to fall down to sell the move. And a pay-per-view that's coming up is Money in the Bank.
What does that mean?
Basically, the Money in the Bank ladder match is when two briefcases are hung up. One is a women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which they've done for about 2 years now. And obviously the traditional men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So the man and woman that can climb that ladder and survive the hellacious match, which can go on for a while because you're hitting each other with ladders, getting knocked off the ladder, and obviously retrieve that briefcase, will get a title shot of their brand.
Really?
And obviously Seth Rollins, I keep looking at this picture over here, this little article we got up here, defends his title at Money in the Bank against AJ Styles, who competed in 2 matches in one night to gain the opportunity. A triple threat match, which involved Rey Mysterio and U.S. champion Samoa Joe, and then defeated Baron Corbin in the same night to earn a shot at Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank.
Wow.
Like AJ Styles, he is phenomenal for a reason.
So AJ Styles is the real deal, is what you're telling me.
He held the WWE title. Like, this isn't a record. The record held by Bruno Sammartino at 7 years with said title. AJ held the title for 371 days before obviously Daniel Bryan turned heel and won the title.
You're blowing my mind, Austin. This is a lot of information at once.
But a match I'm looking forward to on Money in the Bank will be The Miz and Shane McMahon inside a steel cage.
How do they get out?
Basically, you can win a match by 3 different ways. Pinfall or submission inside the cage, escape through the door, or over the top with both feet touching the floor. If you can pin or make your opponent tap, or obviously like I mentioned, escape the cage, you win the matchup.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a cage match at one point where someone dropped a bunch of thumbtacks on the floor and then dropped from the top of the cage onto the thumbtacks?
I do know the match you're talking about. Extreme Rules 2016. Dean Ambrose, or Jon Moxley, as I mentioned before. And, when we were at the restaurant, I did mention that. And Chris Jericho in the Asylum match. Now, the scariest part about that match is Dean Ambrose, as he was known at the time, grabbed nunchucks, and he knew how to use them.
How did he know how to use them?
I don't know. I don't want to know. But the part you mentioned with the thumbtacks is when he dropped Jericho onto the thumbtacks and then hit Dirty Deeds onto set tacks to win the match. And obviously Jericho, covered his face up a little bit because, get thumbtacks in the face, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, that would be painful.
The main event of that pay-per-view, saying as we're talking about it now, was Roman Reigns defending the then named WWE World Heavyweight title against the aforementioned AJ Styles in an Extreme Rules match.
Okay.
Now, the match is simple. There's no rules. There's no countouts. Basically, hit each other with whatever you want, but the pinfall or submission must happen in the ring.
It can't happen outside the ring.
No. Falls count anywhere matches. No, that's where pinfalls can count anywhere. Well, I'm on the topic of that one. Let's go back to WrestleMania this year. A really good show, a long show. Obviously, I was being after watching the show.
Yeah.
Miz and Shane McMahon in the first match of their low rivalry, since Shane's heel turn and the team splitting up,
Okay.
was a Falls Count Anywhere match, which went all over MetLife Stadium. Miz, to me, was move of the night. Hit a superplex off of a platform, which was about that high from the ground. No, not too high.
That's not high at all.
But Shane's arm covered the Miz, and the ref made the 3 count, thus giving Shane the victory. But it was a brutal match, and Miz dominated the match up until that point.
Wow.
And Miz's father, George Mizanin, came in and obviously got beat on by Shane, who is a heel. So he had to pull off a heel move like off the bat, or
Yeah.
that may have been planned before
Yeah.
the show started. Like they may have sat down with Jordan and say, "Hey, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take a few punches, and obviously, the match will continue." But the main roster itself is good per se, but the storylines are starting to become more like soap opera. There's a lot more segments than matches at times.
Do you like that? Or would you rather more matches than segments?
I do like matches, but segments, just really fill in the blanks. That's why I mentioned NXT earlier, because that's where the action is.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot more good matches, a lot more good performers. I'm just gonna fix my mic here too a little bit.
You're good.
The night before WrestleMania was, the night before WrestleMania, I believe, was Hall of Fame. Then, I forget, the whole schedule for WrestleMania weekend, because
Okay.
it was a long weekend.
Yeah.
NXT TakeOver New York. Some great matches happened. 2 matches went over half an hour. Let's start with the opening match. Ricochet and Aleister Black challenging the now known Viking Raiders for their NXT Tag Team titles. An excellent match, had a lot of good spots in it. And Ivar, or as he was known in NXT, Hansen, a big guy, I'd say about over 300 pounds, went to the top rope and hit a cannonball to the floor.
Wow.
Now, he's more the, and I'm not lying here, viewers, that is incredible. No, he's more the agile one.
Yeah.
No, for a man of his size, he can go.
Yeah.
Like, he can move a lot.
Yeah.
And what else now? Yeah, I'm gonna go right to the main event.
Okay. Sebastian's waiting for you, so we got to wrap it up.
Hey,
So let's talk about the main event.
Johnny Gargano
Okay.
versus Adam Cole for the aforementioned vacant NXT Championship.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls, and he matched so in 38 minutes. Adam Cole
That's so long.
hit his last shot, which is a shining wizard to the back of the head for the first fall.
Wow.
Johnny made him tap out. Johnny Gargano made Adam Cole tap out in falls 2 and 3 to win the NXT Championship. And obviously the Undisputed Era came down and, interfered.
Yeah.
And the ref got knocked down. Which also involved, Fish and O'Reilly hitting total elimination. Gargano kicks out. Adam Cole hits the Panama Sunrise, which is a Canadian destroyer, where he hops off the second rope and hits the move.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano kicked out. Because, Barclays Center was coming unglued at that point.
Wow.
With each kick out by Gargano, they got louder and louder and louder. And it was like, okay, there's going to be no roof on Barclays Center after this match. Gargano finally locks in that Gargano escape, which is a really cool move. It's a crossface, but instead of wrapping the opponent's arm around your legs,
Yeah. Yeah.
he put Cole's arm around his neck,
Yeah.
Johnny's neck, and locked in the move. And when Cole tapped out, Dad looked at me and said, "Oh no," because Dad can't stand Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
But I've always been a believer in him.
Yeah.
Even during his little heel turn, I still believed in him, and I believed that one day he would be the NXT champion. When that happened, Barclays Center came unglued. It was the loudest response
Wow.
I've ever heard for a main event.
Wow. That's amazing.
But the build to the match too was really good. I think it was the NXT before, or I believe it was the NXT before TakeOver. They had their little table. They put the title on this table, and the 2 competitors came out and threw a bunch of, had a little segment, good opening segment, I will say, between Gargano and Cole. And Adam Cole's been in this business for a long time. And he's only like 29 years old. But he's done it all. Record 3-time ROH World Champion. The longest reigning CZW Junior Heavyweight Champion. No, he's won tag titles. I believe he's won tag titles at one point. No, was the founding member of ROH's stable, The Kingdom. Was a part of Bullet Club, which is a really good faction.
Yeah.
And all this, a little part of me was shocked that he didn't win.
Yeah.
But the rest of me, I wanted to jump through the ceiling of my house to, after that
To
match.
show your emotion.
After that match, because that was a really good match. The way they put that story
Yeah.
together within that squared circle was just incredible.
Well, that's awesome. You seem like a happy fan.
Oh, I'm always happy. I'm always happy when a good guy wins the title.
Of course.
As
And
always.
Austin, you're a good guy. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast, man.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
No problem, man.
When you come back to Halifax, you're gonna have to come back on, all right?
No problem.
All right.
I mean, I'm here for a few days, so if you want to go round 2 in a few days, I'm down for that.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Let's do this again,
We'll do it again before you go.
let's say next Monday.
Perfect.
All right, man?
All right, everyone listening, thank you very much. We are out. Peace.
See you guys.